High school is the place for questions. Questions such as, what's the derivative? Or what even is a derivative? But the question that I find myself asking more than I probably should is, what is that smell? Followed by I do remember eating a big bowl of beans last night. In case you didn't catch my whiff, I'm going to talk to you today about flatulence, colorectal turbulence, farts. No matter what you call it, everybody farts. Well, that's a pretty broad statement. Let's do a survey. Please raise your hand if you have experienced flatulence today. I'm seeing fewer hands than I should. Given that the average person passes gas 14 times per day and it's currently about 10:30 a.m., every single person in this room should have farted at least 6 times today already. The deficit of hands that we've just experienced suggests one of the two following things. We're either overcoming some very steep statistical odds or we're embarrassed about our bodily gas. And because we feel uncomfortable about talking about flatulence, it can be a source of embarrassment, marginalization, and even illness. Thus, it is my aim to clear the air on this often taboo topic. I really hope that you're enjoying my joke so far. I have another one for you. It goes like, something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not pass gas in her husband's lap. Get it? I don't either. But in 1900 BC Sumer, someone must have, as this was the first joke ever to be written down. Yes, the oldest recorded joke was a fart joke, and yes, even ancient Sumerians found a routine bodily function to be entertaining. Farts have been a societal entity since society's existence. In fact, the rhetoric around flatulence continued to be featured in Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales as a 15th century deal breaker and in John Bull's 18th century political cartoons that equated farting to treason. This deep historical taboo is a reason why we have boyfriends and girlfriends and even husbands and wives of 10, 20, 30 years who have never farted around each other. And it's probably the reason why I'm single. But like most things, this was all fun and games until someone got hurt. With that someone being tens of millions of Americans. We commonly know flatulence as a trivial part of life and nothing more than a mild form of amusement. People with chronic flatulence, however, suffer socially from loneliness, loss of employment, and loss of esteem. Medically, they are at risk for irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, a disorder in which the intestines can be hypersensitive to gut gas and contents, leading the patient to experience bloating, abdominal pain, and abnormal bowel habits. According to Dr. Robert Sandler at the UNC Gilling School of Global Public Health, IBS affects 11% of the global population and 10 to 15% of North Americans. That's 25 to 45 million people in the United States. The indirect cost of absenteeism from work, decreased productivity, and diminished quality of life approaches $20 billion annually. These patients not only suffer from their disease, but live in constant fear of the embarrassment from the flatulence that can help to relieve their pain. As you can see, one of the most ever-present burdens of IBS stems from some very changeable social norms around flatulence. Now, we are a nation that spends millions upon billions of dollars on perfume and deodorant, so it may seem a little demanding to be so tolerant of a constant fume that some may consider borderline noxious. Farts, however, are not your average fume. The gas that we exude consists of hydrogen sulfide, which is deadly in large doses, but actually reduces mitochondrial damage in lower concentration. This is important because the cellular damage that follows mitochondrial damage has been found to be linked to debilitating diseases, such as arthritis, strokes, and heart disease. So although taking a deep breath in directly after somebody passes gas may be slightly unpleasant in the moment, it can actually be good for you and save your life in the long run. It has just occurred to me that you may have been going this whole time thinking, why would a teenage girl give a 7-minute talk on flatulence? Well, having a sometimes overly enthusiastic gastroenterologist as a mother, I have some unique practices. Practices such as summarizing some mildly unsavory content at the dinner table, to overanalyzing my pet's bowel movements to promptly report back, and, as you may be able to tell, embracing flatulence, much to the chagrin of many peers. My point is that, unlike the definition of a derivative, I hope that you take today's and my upbringing's lesson with you. We find farts funny, and that's totally okay, but they are an important part of life to be appreciated. You should admire those brave souls around you who raised their hand earlier, even if it was ever so slightly, because as far as our liberal fart education goes, they are highly intelligent. I encourage you to live a fart stigma-free life. And who knows, you may just save a life one day, whether it's somebody else's or your own. Thank you.